for example, Tuvalu in 1960, there is no data about children per woman and life expectancy. And there are several. Yeah? And this is what this indicator says us. Yeah. So be careful. There are some null values here, and keep that in mind.
Professor Schulte, student is asking, can you please repeat this step once again?
Yeah, sure. So let's remove it again. Okay, to create this annotation, click into a certain to a random place in the visualization. Then select annotate from the menu and select point. And then we have this this variables predefined. I'm just deleting it. And I take page name from the insert options. Because page name is what we saw here in the title, is the respective year when we start our animation. So page name, then just format it, make it big. I take the Tableau bold font, make it gray, and just hit OK. Yeah, then we get this default view with this gray shading in the background, and I don't like that in this case. And to get rid of it, I right-click the object. Then we get this format options. I put shading to none, and also the line to none, and this way we get just the year number. Okay, good. Yeah, if you want to get rid of these of this indicator here, you can just say hide the indicator to have a clean view. Good. I think that's it. Now give it maybe a proper name. Let's say it Hans remake of Hans Rosling's Gapminder visualization, and I would even add Tableau workshop at, oh, where is the at? There, at ITM Business School. Whatever you want to put into your title, I think that's a good one. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Wow, I think that's nice. Yeah. So we gave it a title, and I think we're good to go. Now we need. I would invite you to upload this visualization to your Tableau public profile. Yeah, I'm not sure if you have already prepared your Tableau public profile. You can do it easily after this workshop as well. And to do that, we need one step in preparation, and that is we need to create an extract of the data. And to explain this very briefly, let's go back to the data source page. And when you look at this section here at the top right, you see we have a live connection into the data source. Yeah, that means we are querying the data directly and live from the table, from the location that we've set the path to. When you now upload on Tableau Public, this connection has to break. It won't work with a live connection, because then Tableau Public would need a live connection to the table, and that's obviously not possible. And therefore, we have to create an extract. Extract is a Tableau database, I would say, that will be embedded in the workbook when you upload it. And to create an extract, there are different options. For now, let's just switch this to extract. And when you then go back to the sheet, you will be asked where to save the extract. Choose just a place in your local directory. And then you will see that this sign here has changed and we have now an extract. To upload on Tableau Public, I won't do that by myself now. You can save to Tableau Public or to Tableau Public as, then you can give it a proper name, your workbook. And this way you can share your work on Tableau Public. And to give you an impression of what that looks like, let's have a look at my Tableau Public profile. So I've been uploading on my profile for years now. You see there are 177 visualizations. Yeah, and this is the work that I've created over the years, just like you started now. Good thing about Tableau Public is you can look at the profiles, at the visualizations, and for example, here at my fancy P&L statement, which is maybe a little bit different than P&L statements normally look like. You can interact with it. You can change filters. You can just play with the visualization. And if you want to learn more about how I've created this one, you can just download the Tableau workbook and reverse engineer it. Yeah, to just learn about techniques and see what happened in the workbook.
Professor Schulte, I got another question. So
yeah,
question is, could you please repeat the last extraction process of the data set?
Yeah,
to how to
sure.
upload on Tableau Online?
Okay, so we can create an extract in different ways. I'm doing it now from the data source page. So go to the bottom left, select data source, and then switch the connection from live to extract. Yeah, that's it. And when you then go back to your sheet where you've created the visualization, you will be asked where to save this extract, and you can just save it wherever you want. I have to repeat it, replace it now, and then you're good. Then you will notice that this icon has changed, and this double database icon is the sign for the extract, and then you're already good. Yeah, when you would now upload on your Tableau Public profile, the data will be embedded in the workbook. Okay, good. Rohit, please help me. How much time do we have left? It's 30 minutes or a little bit less, 25 minutes, right?
30 minutes approximately.
Okay, good. Yeah, then let's talk. So first of all, any questions on this one? I think everyone should at least be here now. So we have this scatter plot with the animation feature. You have created the extract, and you would be ready now to upload it on Tableau Public. Maybe one step before uploading could be to put it on a dashboard. So right now we are on a sheet, and the normal way to publish Tableau things on Tableau Public or on a Tableau server in a corporate environment would be to put it on a dashboard. You create a dashboard by clicking this icon here in the middle. Yeah, I think you will do that with Rohit later on too, and let's do it now as well. So we create a dashboard. Then you will get this kind of edit view again, and we can now put different objects on a dashboard. The most important dashboard objects are for sure the sheets, and you can see the sheet 2 in my case that's here available. We can vary the size of the dashboard, but I think 1000 by 800 is good for now. And then I'm just dragging and dropping the sheet onto this dashboard. I don't want these legend because I think I don't need them. And I do need this this control, but I don't want it to be here on the right side next to the visualization. I want to place it here into the visualization. And therefore, there are different ways to design a dashboard. Very briefly, we are now in the tiled option. When you have the tiled option, all objects are placed in one layer. And when you select the floating option, we have several layers and we can overlay objects on a dashboard. And that's what I want to do with this control thing. And therefore, I select this object and make it floating. Yeah, go to this menu with a white triangle and then select floating. And then we can place it wherever we want. Yeah, and we can get rid of this container to use the full size of this, the full space of the dashboard. Let's see. So I change it to 900 to have it nicely squared, but then the text breaks. Now let's keep it with 1000. I think that's good. Yeah, so this would be the dashboard, and you could now give the dashboard a name. Again, this is Rosling Remake. Then upload the dashboard on Tableau Public. Yeah, there are different objects to implement on the dashboard, but we are not going to do that now. Rohit, any questions or?
Yes, Professor Schulte, a few more questions from the student side. The first is, can I export this to PowerPoint?
Yeah, you can. So we have, first of all, why would you? Because you have an interactive visualization in your dashboard. Why putting it into PowerPoint? Because you would lose all the interactivity. So that would first of all be my argument not to export it to PowerPoint. I think there are ways to implement download buttons. Let's see how this looks. And we can edit the button, and there should be a PowerPoint option. Yeah, and then you could download from Tableau Public to PowerPoint. It won't work in Tableau Desktop, but when you've uploaded on Tableau Public, you could use this download button to allow your users to export to PowerPoint. Here from the visualization, you can export an image. I think that's the only thing possible here. But again, I would always recommend to use the dashboard and not an image of it and not a PowerPoint slide, but just implement the visualization in your presentation. And that's much more powerful than having it as a flat image in a PowerPoint.
Professor,
okay, more
next
question?
Yeah. The next question is, do we have to convert it back to live or be it on extract?
You can let it be an extract. The only difference when you work locally is when you want to refresh the data. And there are two options. When you are live connected, you would use this first option to refresh. When you're working with an extract, you have to refresh the extract when your underlying data has changed. And that's the only difference. So you can work with an extract locally as well. And maybe sometimes it's even recommended. So imagine you're connected to a database, you have large amounts of data, the database is slow. Then I would recommend to work with an extract. But again, when the underlying data changes, you need to refresh the extract and not use this option to refresh the live connection. Now that's the only difference.
Thank you, Professor Schroeter. I think I have one last question. Could you please repeat how to put colors inside the circles? I think it says the bubbles, because that person got only the colors in the border region.
You need to switch the mark from shape or automatic to circle. That should do the trick. Okay, good. We have some minutes left, and what I want to do now, let's talk about the visualization itself. So you should be able to upload it, and maybe to save this for now. I want you to duplicate. So let's rename it. So this is the visualization, and please duplicate it, to save what we've created so far in this sheet, and then move on with a duplicate of this. So, and what I want to talk about with you is now, what else can we do with this data? Or maybe even one step further, one step before. What is the general purpose of this visualization, of this animated visualization that Hans Rosling has created? How to duplicate? Just right click, and then there is a duplicate option. What's the general purpose of this visualization? Question to you. Please answer in the chat. To understand better, maybe a little bit more precisely, where is this good for? For the general trend, thank you. It's interactive in nature, okay, for backup. Easy to understand, for backup, okay. Visual aid, that's all good. And what it actually does, it gives us an overview, like you said, on the general trend. So what Rosling showed, we are moving from, or many countries are moving from the bottom right to the top left, and in the general trend is less children per woman and longer life expectancy. I'm not a health expert. I don't know if this link is really valid and how strong the link is, and there might be other factors as well, but I don't want to talk about that. It gives us the general overview. Now let's see if there are other things in the data that we can bring to the top. For example, do you have any questions on the data set? So something you are particularly interested in. Could you please also share in the chat? So is there something you would want to talk about or want to see in the data? Maybe one thing that always comes to my mind, I mean, we all live where we live, and we want to maybe know, okay, how did Germany, or how did India, or how does any country perform over the years, and this gets a little bit lost, to be honest. So I don't see Germany even. I know it must be one of the bigger orange bubbles. I know this is India. I can follow India quite good, but maybe let's put that out more visibly, and therefore we will change the visualization a little bit. Yeah, and so I'm working in my duplicate, and what I want you to do now is to drag out year from pages. So I want all the marks back. Then it should look like this. What we will do now is we are going to make a connected scatter plot to see the movement over the years. And therefore, I drag out population, because population is maybe not needed anymore. Then it looks really wired. Let's decrease the size of this a little bit. Okay, then it looks like this. And let's switch the mark from circle to line. Okay, this is not a line yet, because we need to say how to connect the lines, or in the dots, in which order to connect the dots. And therefore, we drag year onto path, because year is the variable that tells us how to connect the dots. And when you do that, we get these cool lines. Yeah, this again, I think, is showing us somehow the general trend. We see the lines moving from the right side to the top left side, kind of. But obviously, we still don't see India or Germany. And what we want to do is, I will drag out region, because maybe region is not my focus of analysis right now. And what I do is, let's create a calculated field, so we can build new variables within our visualization. And I create a new calculated field, and I call it, this is highlight. I want to highlight a country. And this is just a Boolean calculation. And I say the country name equals India. This is a Boolean calculation. Again, I will repeat the steps. Find this black triangle and create a calculated field, which will create a new variable. Give it a name, and the formula we are going to create is country name equals India. Okay, so you see there will be this new variable in the data pane, and let's drag this onto color now. Yeah, you see it's a German, but you will get it. The highlight. So this equation that we've built, country name equals India, can be false or true. If it's true, we want to make it red. So I'm just double click the color legend to adjust the colors. And if it's not true, I want to be it gray. And what we want to do is we want to bring India to the top. We can just drag it in the legend to the top. Let's also put highlight on size. Okay, now the false option is the bigger line, the true option is the smaller line, and we edit the size and reverse this and bring back the opacity to full opacity.
Professor Schulter,
that was quick. That was quick. I will repeat it for sure, but I just wanted to demo it. So we get a completely different visualization now. We now see India's change in children per woman and life expectancy from 1960 to 2030. And we have the other countries more for context in the background. Yeah, so this is very much different from the more kind of overview that that we saw in the first visualization. Okay, now let's go through it step by step again. So we've, let's start from here. Yeah, so we have created this connected scatter plot, and we drag out region. Now let's do it maybe even a little bit smarter, and we create a parameter to select that we also can show other countries in this visualization. And we will create a parameter by right-clicking on country and create a parameter. Again, right-click, create parameter. This will create a parameter with all the values, with all the countries in it. And let's maybe already select India from the option as the current value. Yeah, this is the country name parameter. You will see here the country name parameter among the parameters on the left side. Now we create the calculated field. Let's name it highlight again. And the equation is now country name equals country name parameter. Yeah, again, this can be true or false. And we put this variable on color. I'm setting the opacity back to 100%. And I'm first now editing the colors. We can do that from the color card. Edit colors. And for the false one, I want to use a light gray. And for the true, I use a poppy red. Yeah, then it looks like this. And to bring the right line, the red line to the top, I'm just sorting manually. This is what I do by dragging true above false. Then the red line sits on top of the gray lines. I think that's even enough. We don't need the different size. But what's cool now is we can use this parameter to find different stories in this data set. And therefore, go to the country name parameter and say show parameter. And you will see the parameter here on the right side. And we have now India on top of it, but could also be Germany over there. Or there are so many interesting stories in this data set. I don't know if you have seen that, but for example, there was, I saw Cambodia. Yeah, Cambodia had this terrible war at the beginning of the 80s. And look what happened here. That's incredible. Life expectancy dropped to 19.5 years in 1977. and then recovered quickly, and then took the normal road. Or we had the terrible HIV epidemic in Africa, or there was also this war in Rwanda. Looks quite similar. Yeah, and then you can just bring these stories in the data set to the top by using this parameter. Yeah, so that was kind of a different angle now, not showing the general trend, but highlighting one country's development in contrast to the general development. Okay, yeah, let's move forward, and let me switch back to my presentation very briefly. I will skip the interface and maybe sum up my part. So in my session, you've learned a little bit about pre-attentive attributes and how to use them in Tableau. I've introduced the options to actually encode data into these attributes with the marks card. We have this color, size option, we have the shape option, and the position attribute by using the columns and the rows shelf. Yeah, this way you create the pictures of data like Bertrand mentioned in his work. And today you've learned about the fundamental concepts of Tableau. Yeah, you have seen pills moving across the interface. You first learned about dimensions and measures. So dimensions, basically the independent variables above this little divider line, you will remember, and measures, the dependent variables based on the independent variable, quantitative, numeric, very often, or in most cases, below the divider line in the data pane. And then you've seen green pills and blue pills. This is the question whether we have a continuous or a discrete variable in the view. A discrete variable will always create header. We actually hadn't a discrete pill on rows or columns in our visualization. Let's maybe go back, but only green pills. And these green pills create axes. Yeah, you see the axis here and there. If we had a blue pill, there wouldn't be an axis, but there would be a header. And that's the main difference between blue and green. Yeah, and this is, I would say, almost the most important thing to understand about Tableau. So we can have dimensions, independent, that determine the level of detail in the view. We have measures, quantitative, numeric values that will be aggregated. Remember when we first dragged on fertility rate, we had this 40,000 number. So will by default be aggregated. We can switch that to whatever we want. And we can have discrete and continuous pills in the view. And this is the color actually. And in this way, we can have discrete dimensions, discrete measures. We can have continuous dimensions and continuous measures. Yeah, the discrete ones create header, like we've just seen, and the continuous one, the green pills, create axes. And I think with this fundamental things, you can do whatever you want in Tableau. Certainly there are some more things to learn, but yeah, I think this is really the foundation when you want to start your learning journey with Tableau. What you always have to keep in mind when working with Tableau and dragging around these pills. Yeah, are there any other questions?
Professor, I got two more questions. First question is what to write on the calculated field. I mean, in the Rose-Hasling visualization.
Okay, in the calculated field, I made this very simple equation. So you can see the editor, right, Rohit?
Yes.
Okay, so we have the country name, that is the variable. And I've created a Boolean calculation. So this can be true or false. The parameter can always have one value, like now it is Rwanda. So this equation can be true when the country name is Rwanda, or false for any other country. And this calculation gives us these two options, true or false, and I'm using true and false to color my lines. Yeah, and you can see that here in the color legend.
Okay, another question is on changing the country, the person is not able to see the lines for other country except India. What was the procedure?
I'm not sure if I got the question. So he can or she can change everything, but does not see anything when he switches to India. Is that correct?
I think that's correct.
I actually don't know what happened there. Maybe just repeat the steps. So maybe check if India is part of the parameter. So it should be in the parameter list, in the value list. It should work. I'm not sure why this happened. So your calculation should look like this: country name equals the parameter, and then it should show the correct things.
Okay, I guess we have the last question. How to get the line scatter?
The line scatter. Okay. So we were coming from the circles, and I've switched the mark to line, the mark type. And then it should look like this for you, because we haven't told Tableau how to connect the lines. And we do that by dragging year on path. So year is the variable that determines the order of how the dots will be connected. So I drag year on path, and you will get the lines.
Okay. Next question is, how did the color of the line except India change to gray?
Yeah, you can just edit the colors from the marks card by clicking on color and then edit colors. And then there are different options to change the colors, or you can double click to get more color options. So this way, or you can also just double click into the legend to change the colors. So lots of options to change colors.
Okay. Next question, sir. Can you please show us the PPT of measure and dimension once again? The slide of in which you explain measure and dimension.
It will also be in the presentation, so you can take your time and dig into it later on.
Okay, I guess this would be the last question. There is no highlight. There's a situation. There is no highlight tab showing on my tables.
Mm-hmm. So you need to you need to show the parameter if you've implemented it with a parameter. Or is that correct? No, that was probably not a question. So when you create this calculated field, you have to you have to hit OK, and then it should be there. Yeah, maybe you missed this, but you have to create this calculated field. It's not part of the data. We have created this variable here in Tableau.
Okay, I think there is no any further question. So, and I think the time is almost about to finish for this first session.
Yeah.
Professor Chaudhary, would you like to take upon this virtual workshop?
We want to take the 15 minutes break now after Sir's session.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can break now and meet after 15 minutes then for the second session, or you would like to continue?
We would
Perfect.
like to take a break.
We'll take a break. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. So we take a break for 15 minutes, students, and we come back at around 3:40 exactly. Sharply, the next session will start at 3:40 IST, and then we can have the second session taken by Rohit. Yeah. So you can stay on the link, just take a break, and sharp we'll begin at 3:40. Thank you, Professor Pauls, for the session, and then we'll meet for the session 2.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Professor Kripesh?
Yeah, right.
Did you send the mail of the data set for my session?
Yeah, I already mailed both the file in one mail.
Mm-hmm. So
Already.
could you please check with the students in the chat?
Yeah, right. Sure.
Dear audience, could you please confirm in the chat that you got the data set for the second session? Yeah, the Global Superstore. Okay, I think almost everyone is having those data sets. Okay, thanks for the confirmation, Kripesh sir. So we will meet at
3:40. Yeah. Maybe 2 minutes before we can start.
3:40. Okay, so I will come 2 minutes before, that is 3:38. All right. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.